Welcome back to Drive RPM. For the last decade, if you walked into a dealership in London, Berlin, or Sydney, you were sold a very specific narrative. You were told that the internal combustion engine is dying. You were told that legacy manufacturers like Volkswagen and Toyota are simply managing the slow decline of petrol power while we all wait for the electric future to arrive. We have been led to believe that we hit the ceiling of engineering. We were told that the 41% thermal efficiency of Toyota's dynamic force engine was the absolute limit of physics for a road car. Well, the industry just received a wake-up call. And it did not come from Stuttgart, it did not come from Detroit, and it did not come from Japan. A sleeping giant in China has just shattered the world record. We are talking about a new petrol engine with a certified thermal efficiency of 48.09%. Let that number sink in. 48%. In the world of thermodynamics, this is not just a small improvement. It is a quantum leap. It puts the best engines from Toyota, Nissan, and even Mercedes-Benz Formula One derivatives to shame. This is the Dongfeng Mach 1.5 Turbo, an engine that promises ranges exceeding 1,300 kilometers on a single tank and fuel economy. Figures that sound like science fiction. Today on Drive RPM, we are conducting a full forensic dossier on this technology. We are going to find out if the Big Four of China have finally outsmarted the engineering masters of the West. Is this the savior of the petrol engine in the face of Euro 7 mandates? Or is it just numbers on a spreadsheet? Buckle up. We are diving deep into the machinery. Behind the brands you drive. Before we tear this engine apart to see how it works, we need to address the skepticism. I know what many of you in Australia or the UK are thinking right now. You are asking, who is Dongfeng? Is this just another startup with no history? If you think that, you are making a critical mistake. Dongfeng Motor Corporation is not a startup. Founded in 1969, initially to build heavy military trucks, they are one of China's big four state-owned automotive conglomerates. But here is why they matter to you. Sitting in your driveway in Birmingham or Brisbane, you have likely driven a car built by them without even realizing it. For the last 30 years, Dongfeng has been the strategic manufacturing partner for Honda, Nissan, and Stellantis in China. That Peugeot 408 you see in France, it has Dongfeng DNA. The manufacturing processes used in the Nissan Qashqai or the Honda CR-V, Dongfeng has been mastering these for decades. They spent years acting as the apprentice, absorbing the precision of Japanese manufacturing and the chassis dynamics of the French. But clearly, the apprentice has decided to become the master. They did not just want to assemble foreign engines anymore. They wanted to build something that would make their partners jealous. The result is the Mach Power division. This is not a reverse-engineered copy of a Volkswagen TSI engine. This is a clean sheet design that pushes the boundaries of combustion physics further than anything we have seen from the established players. To understand why this is revolutionary, we have to go back to basics. Why is 48% such a big deal? Think of the engine in your current car, perhaps a standard 2-liter petrol engine. It is, fundamentally, a machine designed to waste energy. For every $100 or euros you spend at the petrol station, roughly 70 of them are thrown away immediately. This energy vanishes as heat through your radiator. It escapes as hot gas out of the exhaust pipe. It is lost to the friction of pistons rubbing against cylinder walls. Only about 30% of that money actually turns the wheels. That is a thermal efficiency of 30%. It is inefficient, and frankly, it is expensive. Toyota changed the game with the Prius and the Camry hybrid, utilizing the Atkinson cycle to push that number up to 41%. That was the gold standard. But Dongfeng looked at that 41% and said, we can find another 7%. Now, 7% might sound small, but in engineering terms, finding 7% efficiency at this level is like trying to run a marathon 20 minutes faster than the world record. It requires rewriting the rulebook on 3 fronts: combustion, friction, and thermal management. Let's look at the first pillar. The first secret lies in the compression ratio. In a standard petrol engine, the piston compresses the air and fuel mixture at a ratio of maybe 10 to 1 or 12 to 1. If you squeeze it any harder, petrol tends to self-ignite before the spark plug fires. This is called knocking or detonation, and it destroys engines instantly. Diesel engines can run at high compression, usually around 16 to 1 because they do not use spark plugs. That is why diesels have always been more efficient on the motorway. The engineers at drive&rpm have analyzed the specs of the Dongfeng Mach 1.5 turbo, and it is running a compression ratio of 15.5 to 1. This is absolutely insane for a petrol engine using a turbocharger. They are running diesel-level compression with petrol. By squeezing the mixture this tightly, the expansion stroke extracts significantly more energy from every drop of fuel. How do they prevent the engine from blowing itself up? Through a proprietary combustion control system and a piston head design that creates a specific turbulence in the chamber. It allows them to ride the razor's edge of physics without crossing it. Then, there is the fuel delivery system. If you drive a modern Volkswagen or Ford, your direct injection system likely operates between 200 and 350 bar of pressure. Dongfeng has cranked this up to 500 bar. To put that into context, 500 bar is 500 times the atmospheric pressure at sea level. It is the kind of pressure used in industrial cutting machines. Why does this matter for you? Because at this pressure, the petrol does not just spray into the cylinder. It atomizes into a microscopic mist almost instantly. Smaller droplets mean a faster and cleaner burn. For our European viewers concerned about Euro 6e and the upcoming Euro 7 emission standards, this is the key. A cleaner burn means fewer particulates, less soot, and a happier catalytic converter. It is not just about raw power. It is about keeping the regulators happy while delivering maximum range. But generating power is useless if you lose it all to internal friction. This is where the material science gets fascinating. Dongfeng has abandoned traditional heavy cast iron cylinder liners. Instead, they are using a thermal spray coating. It is a microscopic, mirror finish layer that is incredibly hard and slick. It drastically reduces the friction of the pistons moving up and down thousands of times a minute. Less friction means less heat, and less heat means more power going to the gearbox. They have also integrated a variable geometry turbocharger, or VGT. Now, car enthusiasts know VGTs from diesel engines or high-end sports cars like the Porsche 911 Turbo. They are rare on standard petrol engines because petrol exhaust gas is much hotter than diesel, which usually melts the variable vanes. Dongfeng developed new alloys to withstand this heat. This means the turbo can adjust its airflow to be efficient at low speeds in downtown Sydney traffic, but open up for maximum breathability on the German Autobahn. It is the best of both worlds. Toyota, VW and BYD. So, let's bring this back to the real world. How does this compare to the cars you're actually considering buying? The benchmark has always been the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Its 2.5-liter dynamic force engine is legendary for reliability. Sitting at 41% thermal efficiency, it is the safe choice. Then we have BYD, which has been taking Europe and Australia by storm with the Auto 3 and the Seal U, also known as the Ceelion 6. Their DMI hybrid engine is fantastic, sitting around 43%, but the Dongfeng Mach 1.5, turbo at 48.09%, is in a different league entirely. In a plug-in hybrid configuration, where the engine acts primarily as a generator to charge the battery, this efficiency difference is massive. It means the engine has to run for shorter periods to generate the same amount of electricity. Dongfeng claims this technology enables a combined range of over 1,300 kilometers. For my Australian viewers, that is driving from Sydney to Melbourne on a single tank, with enough fuel left over to drive around the city for a week. For Europeans, that is a trip from London to Munich without stopping for fuel or hunting for a working EV charger. This is the range anxiety killer. It offers the EV driving experience with the long-range capability of a diesel, but without the diesel noise or emissions stigma. What is the verdict here at drive RPM? The Dongfeng Mach 1.5 turbo is proof that the internal combustion engine is not dead. It is evolving. While Western governments are pushing for a 100% electric future by 2035, manufacturers like Dongfeng are betting on a transitional reality. They understand that for many people in the outback, Spain, or in rural Europe, pure EVs are not quite ready yet. We need a bridge. And this is one impressive bridge. The Big Four of China are no longer just manufacturing partners. They are innovators, and if I were an engineer at Volkswagen in Wolfsburg or Toyota in Aichi today, I would be taking a very close look at this engine. But I want to hear from you. Is 48% thermal efficiency enough to keep the petrol engine alive? Would you buy a Dongfeng SUV over a trusted Toyota RAV4 if it meant 1,300 kilometers of range? Or is this just too good to be true? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this technical deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more global automotive analysis. This is Drive RPM, and we will see you on the next road.